InfoPlus for genuine information.
Hello and namaste. Welcome to InfoPlus on Himalaya Television. I'm a host, Rebecca Shetri. On InfoPlus, we bring you stories and conversation that matters, voices, ideas and perspectives from Nepal and around the world. Let's begin.
InfoPlus for genuine information.
Deputy Minister, namaste.
Namaste, Shubhkamnam.
Thank you so much for welcoming us here.
Thank you very much for coming
Bhutan.
to Bhutan Trust Fund. It is an organization that born out of the vision of His Majesty the Fourth King, and now we have a new charter by His Majesty the King.
Okay.
And it is the oldest charter, environment trust fund in the world, and we contribute. We are very actively, we invest in foreign countries, and funds generated here are brought to the country to complement government initiatives in terms of many broad areas. So let me talk about the mandala here.
Okay, this mandala looks
Yeah,
so
the
beautiful.
crown signifies, of course,
okay.
the charter body, very charter body. And you see there are 4 areas or pillars of our charter. I'll start with preserving biological diversity.
Okay.
And this is very important, and in fact, that's the corner where we have to live in harmony with our nature. Conservation is very important. The second is, of course, in this day and age, to the white one, this is mitigating to and adapting to climate change. And this is a very important aspect, and I'm sure Nepal is also doing this in a big way, because climate change which affects the vulnerable groups most disproportionately. And then you go up and I see the enabling human-wildlife coexistence. We have this world, this country, and your country too. We share the planet together, not only by human beings, but all things are living on it. So this coexistence is very important. With development, you have increased number of elephants, pigs, and other animals. So how we can live in harmony with them without taking their place. And then finally, we talked about it, the development. Development need not happen at the cost of environment and conservation. So we are addressing the adverse impact of development through the pictures that you see here. So this is in essence Bhutan Trust Fund.
Joining us today is Mr. Kesang Wangdi of Bhutan, Deputy Head of Mission and a dynamic voice in Bhutanese diplomacy. A seasoned diplomat, he has played a key role in strengthening bilateral relations, advancing regional cooperation, and promoting Bhutan's unique philosophy of gross national happiness. His work reflects Bhutan's commitment to peace, sustainability, and meaningful people-to-people connection. Honorable Deputy Minister, Namaste and Kuzu Zampola.
Well done.
Welcome to the show InfoPlus.
Thank
we
you.
have so much honor and privilege to have you on our show.
Thank you very much for that greetings. May I also say Shubhkamna, Namaste to you, your viewership. I'm very happy that you come as a representative of a very important media house in Nepal. I'm very honored to meet you. Welcome to Bhutan.
Honorable Deputy Minister, could you share a bit about your journey and career and what led you become the Deputy Minister of Bhutan?
Thank you very much. Well, I am, have, throughout the age, let me just say that in Bhutan, like many things, are due to our enlightened monarchs, many of, in fact, all of us came through an education system that is free. The health system is free. We came to that system as a young person, starting my education system in a small school in Paro, where I'm from, in the 60s, mid to late 60s. And thereon, after I finished through my education system, I went outside Bhutan to continue my further studies, came back and joined the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And in that role, I have throughout in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as a diplomat, I worked close to 38 years. And in between, I've been seconded to other agencies, such as at that time it is called the Tourism Council of Bhutan. I was a Director General in that post. I served in various organizations, such as the Drucare, of which I was chairman, the Helicopter Corporation, which is now merged with the Drucare, of which I was the chairman, and many other institutions in our country. And then I finished my career in the civil service as a cabinet secretary. And after retirement, I have been appointed by His Majesty the King as the deputy chairman with the rank of a deputy minister in the Privy Council, which is, if I were to be very brief, some sort of an advisory body supporting our monarchs and our royal family.
That sounds so inspiring. Bhutan's unique development model, gross national happiness, inspired the world so immensely. So how is the government ensuring this philosophy remains relevant in addressing modern challenges such as digital transformation, youth empowerment, and climate change?
Thank you. The development paradigm or philosophy, as many would call it, is a concept where you put the human development first. So it's putting human wellness before material requirements. Of course, both are indeed connected. So the 4 pillars of gross national happiness. We don't have to go there. Basically, the policy strives to put the human being, the citizens, at the center of development. So anything that comes, and it's very, very holistic, very, very embracing, and it's timeless. So any development that comes across in our path of development is always tempered by the need of putting people's needs and the requirement first. So whenever there's digital transformation, I think it is a very, very important development in modern history. And Bhutan has always been half a step or one step ahead of the curve in trying to accept or blend development, science, technology with modernity, and technology, culture, tradition. So basically, nature and development together. So both of these factors are not compromised.
As a close neighbor and a member of South Asian community, how does Bhutan envision strengthening regional cooperation with countries like Nepal and India, especially in areas of sustainable tourism, trade, and environmental preservation?
Excellent question. I think we belong to the global south, and we are by destiny a Himalayan country. Let me talk first about Bhutan and Nepal. Though our diplomatic relations were established, formal diplomatic relations were established very recently, I would say, in time, historical span, 1983, formal diplomatic relations. But it's important to realize for both Bhutanese and Nepalese that we have very, very ancient ties of relationship, ancient ties rooted in geography, mountain geography, in our shared destiny, in our shared spiritual legacy, and also negotiating the blessings of the Himalayan country, and also some of the challenges that come out of it, particularly landlockedness. We have a lot of lessons to learn from each other. I believe that, just as a citizen, if I were to say, that both our media, especially in Nepal and also in Bhutan, that aspect of the historical aspect of traditional relations that spans centuries needs to be brought forward. Many of the zongs you may have visited here, Thimphu Zong, Tashi Chosang, for example, and the monasteries, would you be knowing that, I'm sure you know, the artisans were, they came from Nepal. The Newari craftsmen, famous Newari craftsmen, they came here and built up this priceless artifacts, historical artifacts that is enshrined in our zongs, in our monasteries. Our people, our forefathers used to carry, rations on the back and go to a land across the mountains called the paradise. In their language, it's called Bayul, means paradise. So Nepal was seen as a land of paradise. And through that connectivity, I can talk about something that's related to what's happening just a few kilometers from this venue, is the prayer festival, global prayer festival. What are we talking about? We are talking about peace, security, and loving kindness in the framework of our shared spiritual, history or legacy. And who is that? That is Gautam Buddha, born in Lumbini.
Yes.
And then, of course, Guru Rinpoche. So those are historical figures that binds us together. And through that basis, on that basis, for centuries, there has been trade, communication, engagement through the between the two countries. And I think this deserves a little more attention, rather than focusing on the few other, let's say, not so important things in terms of both our countries' future as neighbors. And our common neighbor is India, which is a very, very, it's a country that where both the countries receive their spiritual input. We are talking about Nalanda, many centuries ago. So in spiritual inputs, many of the trade commerce happened between the two countries. So for both India and, I should say, Nepal and Bhutan, there are many potential areas for us to develop a cooperation. One important thing is I have been a director at the SAARC Secretariat many, many years ago, and it's in fact stationed in Kathmandu. And I think there is, it's a very important regional organization, and both Bhutan and Nepal can benefit from a very strengthening relations of a growing India. India is in every aspect now a global player in terms of its economy, in terms of its reach, in terms of global prestige, and a neighborhood like Bhutan and Nepal can take advantage of that.
As you mentioned that we shared a long history together, and our culture, we have a similar culture and spiritual practice, and we have a very good ties as a Himalayan region. How do you think, in what area do you see the deeper collaborations between two countries, Nepal and Bhutan, whether in tourism, education, or environmental cooperation?
Well, as a very good question now, as we both established ourselves on the fact that Bhutan and Nepal enjoy good relations based on the foundations of a shared spiritual heritage, being both mountain countries that have many, many of which we can take advantage of being in such a country. But there are also challenges that come being in a mountainous country, especially that is landlocked. So we have, as you know, collaborations, official engagements in the area of tourism, human resource development, and other connectivity. For example, our plane or aircraft lands in Nepal. Those are existing areas of cooperation. I think we could still, as you mentioned, one of the first things I can see is you have a very highly developed tourism industry. And we could learn from each other as sister countries in the Himalayas, learn from each other. We could talk about learning communications, being in a mountainous country, how you address this. And most importantly, you know, nowadays we have issues of climate change and glaciers retreat because of this adverse impact of climate change, which, by the way, you know, it has a disproportionate impact on the vulnerable groups in the mountains. So we could always put our resources together, technical and other resources together, and find out ways and means for climate action, both mitigation and adaptation. So this is one area. We can also, in form of tourism, we can say connect, say Bauda to Taksang, or Lumbini to Taksang circuit, and connect with even India. India is where Bodh Gaya, Rajgir, though Buddha was born in Lumbini, but he grew up as Buddha from Gautama. The transformation took place in Kapilavastu, Bodh Gaya, and Rajgir. Those Buddhist sites could be connected for gainful employment, economic development, and cultural exchange.
That sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
And climate change is the very happening issues all over the world right now. And it's very good to know that Bhutan is working on that.
Thank you, thank you. And of course, these it's a very, very the climate change is something that's real, and we must address this. And in fact, we're meeting in Bhutan Trust Fund, which is the first environment trust fund in the world, born out of the vision of the fourth king of Bhutan. And now we have a new charter granted to us by His Majesty King of Bhutan, and we are now serving the community in terms of mitigation and adaptation for social welfare in the country.
Bhutan is often praised for being carbon negative. How is the government balancing environmental stewardship with economic aspiration, particularly in expanding renewable energy and diversifying the economy beyond hydropower?
Thank you. A very, very deep question, I must say. I feel that development, as the development pathway we follow here, talks about development and conservation, environment conservation or cultural preservation, need not be a binary choice. I think we can do both. And Bhutan is I should say, at the risk of sounding a little immodest, it's a stellar example. We have beautifully balanced the well-being aspect of human, the mental and well-being of a human being, with the material aspect of the needs that are required for well-being of a human, of a person. So all of the developments that are coming up, whether it's digital or artificial intelligence or environmental conservation, if the policy which GNH prescribes talks about human needs, the putting human, what you call person, people in the center of development. And I don't think we have to make a choice between development and environment conservation. And organizations such as this demonstrate that it need not be a binary choice.
Deputy Minister, many young Bhutanese are increasingly exposed in global opportunities and challenges. What specific policies or programs are being implemented to empower youth, enhance skills, and reduce brain drain from the country?
Thank you. I think this is, again, now we are talking about modern or current situation in the country. It is true that a lot of youngsters are going out for a better deal in life. And that is, I must say, again, emanating from the fact that our education system is very, very good, strong, free, and they are easily, they are as good as any young, educated people in the world. And it's only natural when opportunities present themselves, they go outside and look for better economic perspective. I don't know much about people going from other countries going outside, migration. Ours people, most of the people go out there, but they have a very strong linkage with their mother country, which is Bhutan. And the way to address what are the things that are being addressed is empowerment of the youth through skills. And to that, in that regard, His Majesty the King, he has really put youth, the future of youth, foremost in his mind in terms of development. He feels youth is the future for our country, and rightly so. And in all his endeavors recently, it has been that way. We have, for example, a youth force called the Dasho, which is, again, you have seen people working in orange uniform.
Yes.
So those are highly committed youth people, inspired by the vision of His Majesty to respond to, requirements of the country in terms of, for example, festivals, helping the uniformed forces in assuring services are delivered to the people in terms of disaster. So these are one example of youth empowerment. The other would be the Gyaltsung, which is recently been initiated. I'm sure you have come across some people you have interviewed in Bhutan about what this is all about. Basically, upskilling youth, motivating them. And finally, given the limited time, let me very quickly say we have the Gyalfu Mindfulness City coming up.
Yes.
And of course, this is going to be a regional hub of prosperity. Again, at the heart is GNH, mindfulness with development. Modernity and nature thriving together. So let's say development with a mindful development, and with the best of the things that the modern age has to offer in terms of technology, in terms of communication, in terms of investment opportunities. Now this is a phenomenon worldwide, as you have seen. And one of the perhaps core thing would attract a return of our youngsters back to the homeland, fully skilled, equipped with experience, and already we have seen a trend. Yes, people are going out to look for opportunities for better economic returns, but our youngsters are very much emotionally, culturally linked with our nation. In fact, I may even add, they are so important. All our youngsters outside are so important, and His Majesty has recognized that. He traveled all the way to Australia to meet with them, in a very, very heartwarming, emotional reunion with his, as he puts it, with his family members, his brothers and sisters, to quote him. A very long answer to your very quick question.
Yeah. And many people around the world are waiting to see the new city, Gyalfu City, the Gyalfu Mindful City in Bhutan.
Yes. So yes, we look forward to that. That not only I talked about technology, mindfulness, development opportunities. It's not only for Bhutan. I must hasten to add, it's also would be it will serve the region. You have, and any countries in the region can take advantage of that. It is not only for Bhutan, it is for the region and for the global good.
Bhutan cultural preservation is at the heart of national identity. How is the government managing the delicate balance between preserving culture, values, and embracing modernizations and global influence in the country?
Again, let me hark back to GNH policy. One of the aspects of human wellness as a human being, there's something that's immutable, that is of our culture and traditions. When I talk about culture, I both mean tangible and intangibles. So again, Bhutan's modernizing history, of modernization has been fairly recent. I'm talking about 60s to now. And we have always been, because we are a country, may never been brutalized by a colonial legacy or a colonial past. And that has enabled us to many things in our development. We've been blessed with enlightened leadership. Our successive monarchs, they have greatly contributed to our nation building. If I were to now talk about His Majesty the King, we feel there's no conflict between preservation of culture and modernization. It in fact strengthens culture and tradition. And we are trying to preserve, we do this in a way that we are not putting culture as a curiosity. It's not for the museum. So culture, traditions are very relevant for our unity, for our harmony. For example, if you ask me to do, what is an example? Our monks. They have thick books, scriptures, translations of Nalanda, of Nagarjuna, etc. Now they're available on digital format. So we have no problem over the highest Lama reading his scripts on a phone. So that's how comfortable we are with change. In terms of English language, another example. Some may say that English is a foreign language perhaps because of some colonial engagement in the past. We were never colonized, so we never look at English as a language belonging to United Kingdom. We look at our perspective on English would be, okay, this is a language of science, commerce, technology, communication, AI now.
Yes.
So this is our perspective. So we have been very comfortable with changes and cultural preservation. I'll end by this example. We recently had a big festival in a very high altitude, Laya, where very indigenous people, our local people there. We have a big festival. His Majesty attended that. And there's economic runoff from there. And why tourists are going there is because there is a rationale. There's economic benefit and conservation in protecting your culture and tradition. So we always try to intertwine, make our culture and tradition relevant for economic development, not against it. And we've been very successful so far.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Deputy Minister, Nepal and Bhutan share a very good bond and brotherhood since a long time. And at present, Nepal is been going a crucial time, a very uncertain time. Would you like to give some feedbacks on that?
Well, I would start by saying that both countries are landlocked countries. We have common neighborhood, common neighbors. But we are separated by mountains, ranges. But what binds us we are mountain people. Mountain people are very special in their resilience, in their practicality, in their approach to developmental relations with their neighborhood, keeping people first. So those aspects are there. And I feel I'm not in a position to say anything that Nepal should do this and Nepal should do that. I can only say the Nepalese people are, resilient people, and their culture and traditions are living and thriving there. I have myself, as I mentioned to you, was in the SARC Secretariat, working there. I've interacted with all kinds of people at the official level, at the people in the marketplace, with students, with shopkeepers. I find only warmth and friendship from them. I can only see that Nepal is a country much larger than us. And I can see that Nepal can really lead the region in tourism, in industry. For example, hydropower. We have a small country, so our hydropower potential is that much smaller than Nepal. So Nepal has a lot of things to, I'm sure your leadership will come through and take advantage not only of the potential that the country has to offer, and you have a very, many of the Nepalese people are employed in the United Nations, international organizations. I'm sure they can also contribute to nation building. We know that blessed by Buddha and Guru Rinpoche, Nepal will always have a bright future. And as neighbor, we'll always be praying for the success and the friendship between Bhutan and Nepal.
Finally, any message would you like to give through Himalayan TV?
Yes, I think Himalayan TV is doing a tremendous work. I know it's very popular in Nepal and in the region. You could, as you are doing it. So the Himalayan TV, your TV channel, is a very, very popular TV doing tremendous service to the Nepalese people, and also, I'm sure, to the region. What I can, wish you is continue to do your very, very important work in the media, to bring your youth together, to contribute to nation building, to bring harmony to the country, and also keep on reminding your own people that they should be proud of their centuries-old tradition and culture. And we, as Bhutan, your neighbor, will always be cheering, and we will always enjoy your prosperity, your happiness, and your progress.
Deputy Minister, thank you so much for your time and sharing insight. We wish you all the best for your work, and we wish for the more betterment of our relation between two countries. Thank you and namaste.
Thank you very much for your kind time with us. As I mentioned always, Bhutan and Nepal, we have for centuries we were friends, and relations. We have very strong foundations for a bright future together. Thank you.
InfoPlus, for genuine information.
That's all for today's InfoPlus. Thank you for watching and for being with us. I'm a host, Rebecca Chetri. See you next time right here on InfoPlus, Himalaya Television. Namaste.
InfoPlus, for genuine information.